Hey everybody, it's Justin, and you're with Autosave. Today, I'm going to be doing a review. The game in question is Life is Strange. Life is Strange is incredible. Yes, it's a loaded statement, but you'll soon see why. So, Life is Strange was developed by Don't Nod Entertainment. It was published by Square Enix and released in January of 2015. It was an episodic release, which has since been released in its entirety. So the whole thing is available now. At current time, if ever you do want to buy it, which you should. As you start up the game, you are treated to a calming tune on the main menu, but I beg of you, do not get lulled into a false sense of security, because Life is Strange is one of the most brutally honest, loaded, emotional roller coasters out there. You'll be faced with important decisions, you'll be faced with unimportant decisions, and you'll be faced with important decisions disguised as unimportant decisions. You will be emotionally destroyed by the end of this game, but that is a good thing. The game starts out with our main protagonist, Max Caulfield, in the middle of a forest during a storm. She doesn't know where she is or how she got there, but she knows that she needs to find shelter, obviously. In the distance, she sees a lighthouse, which she recognizes, and decides to head there. As she approaches the edge of the tree line, she catches a glimpse of a humongous tornado approaching her hometown. And suddenly, she hears a loud crack and looks up just in time to see the top of the lighthouse falling directly on top of her. Then, as suddenly as the game starts, she wakes up in her photography class, a painfully shy student at one of the most prestigious art schools in the USA, Blackwell Academy, located in Arcadia Bay, Oregon, I believe. Sitting alone at the back of the class, it's clear Max doesn't like to be in the spotlight, but that is all about to change for her. So Max is all about photography. It's one of the few things that helps her cope with her anxiety. Max is singled out during her class, and her anxiety starts to act up and get the best of her. So she decides that once class finishes, she needs to head to the bathroom, take a break, splash some water in her face, and just calm down. But while she's in there, a blue butterfly finds its way in through an open window, and she follows it around the corner back where the janitor keeps the supplies, like past the stalls and everything. And she goes to take a shot of it with her Polaroid. As she's back there, one of her classmates bursts into the girl's bathroom. It's a boy. His name is Nathan Prescott. He's a very important character to the story. And he's freaking out. He's like talking to himself, like trying to calm himself down, but clearly messed up. And very shortly after, he's followed by a girl, which she does not recognize, not a student at the school, who is also a very important character to the story. They start arguing, right, while Max is hiding behind all the stalls near the janitor equipment. Her classmate pulls a gun out and threatens the girl, and he shoots her. And Max freaks out. And she cries out and she reaches toward it, and then all of a sudden time is just rewinding, and she finds herself back in her photography class just at the moment that she woke up from her nightmare at the beginning of the game. Time travel is this game's gimmick, and I do not say gimmick in a negative sense, because Life is Strange deals with time travel magnificently. Coupled with important choices, the game lets you see multiple outcomes just by going back in time a few moments to before you made a decision or missed some key element in an event. Now, this is a spoiler-free review. I did just talk about the game's introduction, but you kind of need to do that, obviously, to get to the whole point of the game. I will not be talking about anything else about the story. I will only talk about the game in a review sense, but without spoiling anything. What will follow in the game, obviously not in this review, because I'm not exactly an exciting person or anything. What will follow in this game, follow this introduction sequence, is a thrilling, twisting, turning tale of death, mystery, reunions, separation, heartbreak, love, hate, and horror. Like I said, it's an emotional roller coaster, and it's one of the best of its kind. Anyway, about the gimmick and the gameplay, right? So like I said, time travel is important, obviously, but knowing how time travel works in this game is even more important. So Max is unaffected, right, by the time travel that's going on around her. She can pick up an item, reverse time to a point before she actually picked it up, and still have it in her hands. So this is very useful for tense moments when time's of the essence and you need something, but you've got to do something elaborate to get an item and then get back to the thing that you have to use the item on. But let's say you only have 5 seconds, but it would take 30 seconds to do it. Anyway, time travel is very important, like I said. In addition to that very useful skill, she also remains in place. So, for example, and you might encounter this in the game. You might figure out a different way of doing it because there are different outcomes, different ways of doing things. But if you're in a situation, right, where you have to get past the locked door and your only option is to break in because you cannot find a key or a key code or something like that, and you break through the door, you knock the door down or something, I don't know, destroy the handle and just like push it open, you can rewind time while you're inside of the room to the moment before the door is actually broken, thus having the door never be broken in the first place, and be inside the room, and then you can unlock it from the inside, and then it'll be fine. It's not quite a point-and-click game, but it's clearly in the category that's evolved from them, much like Telltale games. You can run around and inspect things, you can talk to people, you can interact with them, you can hear Max's thoughts about certain things, you can take photos, certain situations anyway, there are optional photos that you can take in the game. It's more like, that's the game's collection system. But also like Telltale, dialogue is everywhere. It's littered everywhere in this game. Every nook and cranny has something, and some of those things are important. They're just used for like community statistics after the end of an episode, like whether or not you water a plant, for example. Other things are very important, but hidden out of the way. And they'll affect the outcome of events that will happen later on in an episode or later on in the series, or how a character will view you, or whether or not they'll listen to you, It's all very, very expertly weaved together. I love it. I think it's fantastically well done. But like I said, I'm not going to talk about the story more in any more of a capacity than I already have. It was enough that I mentioned the introduction. I don't want to spoil anything of the story for this game. It's an excellent experience, and I would never, ever want to rob you of that experience. The graphics are not exactly highly detailed. They're kind of watercolor-esque, I guess would be a decent way to do it. I think the widely disputed but correct term is non-photorealistic. It's not quite cel-shaded, but not quite lifelike. It does not hurt the gameplay whatsoever. You feel fully immersed in it. Like I said, the heavy narrative really, really pulls the player in that direction. The music, the soundtrack for this game is not exactly mainstream. Not to put too fine a point on it. Max is basically a hipster, right? She's not trying too hard, but she is one. And since this game follows her, the soundtrack, of course, is filled with songs that are, like I said, not mainstream, but while not necessarily widely known, fit perfectly. The lyrics, maybe not the lyrics, but certainly the mood of the songs fits perfectly. Of course, I'm talking out of my ass here. I don't even listen to the radio. My music library is stuck in the 80s. I said library. Anyway, speaking of Max, the development of our newly turned adult character is incredible. From her early cocoon stage at the start of the game to partway through, Max fully evolves into a social butterfly in more than just one way. Not just socially, of course, but putting aside her anxiety and taking decisions that no 18-year-old should ever have to make. The player is the reason why she becomes this social butterfly, this wonderful evolution of the shy girl that she was at the start of the game. You really feel like you're impacting the game's world when you're playing. In addition to this, the other characters in the game, both villainous and respectable, righteous, what have you, they also have a very good amount of character development as well. Again, very much impacted by you and the decisions that you make. You can talk to these characters, you can persuade them to do something else, you can change their minds about things, it's all up to you. You can make a judgment call about these characters right at the start of the game, like most people would. We're only human, everybody judges people. But what's wonderful about this game is that even though you've made that primary judgment, throughout the game, you're constantly challenged on those. And to me, that is the mark of excellent character development. In conclusion, I want all of you watching this to play Life is Strange, because I truly believe that it is a game that everyone should play. It'll put things into perspective for you. If you have trouble with your values, this game will set you straight. And likewise, this game might challenge you on them and force you to reconsider them. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, you can be a comfortable human, you can be comfortable in everything that you believe in, but you might be wrong. Of course, that is my opinion. It is subjective. You might not be wrong. The things that you believe in are I'm not discounting them, obviously. All I'm saying is that give it a chance. You know, have an open mind. Play this game, and you will see exactly these values that you may be for or against, and see how they can impact the world, given, you know, time travel being an actual thing. At the end of every episode, I had shivers running down my spine. I love the way that this story went. You know, even though it was episodic, it had me wanting more. And even though I was able to just jump right into the next episode, I couldn't help but feel like excited to get right back into it. You know, and the end of the game, I may have just finished it a couple of days ago, but it is still very fresh in my mind, and it will leave a mark. It will not be leaving there anytime soon. I can guarantee you that. And I really hope that you all have the same experience. As for the rating, sometimes a rating system doesn't do justice to the game in question. In these situations, I feel that it's either a play it or don't play it situation. In this particular case, I think that this game is a definite play it. I really hope that you guys enjoyed my Life is Strange review. If you liked it, please, you know, give us a like, subscribe if you can, if you haven't already. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And there is one extra thing, which actually, now that I'm thinking about it, is a last minute addition here. I might as well, right? I've got a giveaway. I've got some stuff that I can give to you guys. Right now, I buy a lot of shit on Humble Bundle. I got a lot of free shit. So I will not tell you what this one will be. It will be a surprise. But I can promise you that it is not something that is currently on special or anything. I have gotten all these things in the past. It's been actually a couple of months, I think, since I've got all of these. But if the first person to comment on this video will receive a key or link, depending on whether or not it'll be Steam or Humble Bundle or something else, you know. And you'll be able to claim a free game or a free bundle, tier 1, tier 2, you know, whatever it might be. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you take advantage of this giveaway, because, you know, there's not a lot of you out there who might be watching our videos, so it could be yours. It's very possible that you'll get it. So please, again, let me know what you think about this video. I've got a lot more reviews planned up. I'm looking through my Steam library and putting together like a list of 100 games that I've got to play and write notes down and everything for. But I'm doing it all for you. So please stay tuned to Autosave's channel, and we will see you next time. Bye. Right, Petra?
Yep.
So what's the next natural reaction to this?
Twerk. We must twerk.